Appreciate all of y'all being here. It's you know, it's everywhere we go. It's special for us to have the team on the road, and it's even more special when we have an opportunity to honor a great airman like Motor. He is absolutely incredible. He's an incredible instructor, an incredible officer, and as I said, an incredible airman. I would like to extend a warm welcome to all the family and friends that are here, and Keegan is down here. So welcome to the Thunderbird family there. So I think she's busy. I like that. That's good. That's good.
Well, wait a minute, Craig. Why does that number 2 jet have baby on board sign?
It should. Shouldn't it stick on the side? A little sticker on the side. It should be good. So obviously, y'all, for the majority of y'all know that the Motor graduated from the academy here. So not only that, but he's I mean, obviously all of the family and friends are very close to Colorado. So this is special for him to be here, and special for us to have the family here. So once again, thank y'all very much. Obviously, y'all also know that when you're in at the academy or any ROTC, you compete for an opportunity to go to pilot training. So not everyone has the opportunity, and you have to do very well within your studies to even be considered. So Motor has the opportunity to go to pilot training once he leaves the academy, and goes and does extremely well in pilot training. There's comments from his commanders at pilot training that say that he is one of the best pilots out there, the top stick out of the Red Bull flight. So there's a lot of things out there that show that Motor is an absolutely wonderful pilot and a wonderful officer. He begins his pilot training in the T6 airframe, which we don't have one, but we had one down at our last airshow site. It's a prop 2-seat front back type of pilot training airplane, kind of brand new airframe to our Air Force pilot training. And he did very, very well. 44 simulators, 241 hours of ground training, 65 sorties, and 90 hours in the aircraft itself. So, and that's just for someone who flew early, but this is the military side of flying. So he did very, very well. Typically, only the top groups. When you go to pilot training, it's pretty much two groups of flying. The first 6 months will determine if you're going to go to a fighter side or a heavy side, and the last 6 months will determine what airframe you get out of that. And Motor did very well in the T6 and had the opportunity to go fly the T-38, which is our lead-in to our fighters. Which typically only the top about 10% of the folks that are in that even get the opportunity to be considered the T-38s. So Motor does very, very well at the academy, on into pilot training, does very well in the T6, and has the opportunity to go to fighters. He flies the T-38 for 6 months and does outstanding, and then has his choice of what fighter he would like to fly, and he picks the F-16, which is behind us, which is the workhorse right now of our Air Force fighter fleet. So it's an incredible airplane, and Motor has done absolutely wonderful flying it. After pilot training, Luke is the place down in Phoenix where everybody learns to go fly the F-16. There's some other places, but Luke is the primary spot down there. Realize it is, no kidding, about a 9-month class or a 9-month course to be able to complete and be very, very small mission capable in the airplane. There's a lot more you've got to learn, but it just gets you capable. It's just like walking. So you figure out how to walk in that airplane, and that's what he learned leaving Luke down at the F-16. The 309th Squadron Commander, when then Lieutenant Riley, when he retired, or when Motor goes on to his first assignment, writes in his performance report that he is going to be a tremendous asset to the Combat Air Force, which speaks extremely highly, and we'll get more into exactly what Motor has done, but he could not be more right in his comment about Motor and what he has done. His next assignment was to the Republic of Korea, to the 36th Fighter Squadron. That's Harumph. I learned that today, so I'm fired up about that one. Blaze in the back, that one, I just learned that one. So, it was at Osan where he shows up as the Assistant Chief of Weapons in the weapons shop. I'll tell you that the weapons shop is the heartbeat of any fighter squadron. It is where everyone and every young kid learns how to fight with the airplane and learns what the airplane's true employment envelope is. And so as a young lieutenant who shows up and sits in the back, all he has the opportunity to do is listen to the instructors talk and read his 3-1, which is the heartbeat of the aircraft. And that's exactly what he did, and he did it so very well. The awesome part about this, and you get into the numbers, is he's a brand new lieutenant, leaves college, goes to pilot training, or leaves the academy, goes to pilot training, shows up at the Republic of Korea, and he's responsible for the employment of a $34 million F-16 Block 40. Which that's humongous. I mean, every day you sit in that airplane, you strap on something that is absolutely unbelievable. it's worth $34 million, which is nope, $34 million. You know, his time during his first assignment, his squadron commander, as you continue to watch this build throughout this whole FARKLE, you notice that his commander says that he is the top 10% of all officers that are flying fighters. He says he's a brilliant young officer, and the key to this whole comment, his commander says he is a fighter pilot warrior, which is awesome. He's a lieutenant, about to pin on captain here pretty soon, and his commanders have just raved about him throughout his assignment so far. And it was obviously a great assignment, a great first assignment to learn how to fly fighters, and you do it CONUS, and you learn a lot about yourself, about your capabilities, your limitations, and the employment ability of the airplane. So what a great deal. He leaves there and goes to Hill Air Force Base to the 4th Fighter Squadron, where he continues to excel as an absolutely wonderful young fighter pilot. And he's learning exactly what it takes to employ the airplane. And I've said this before. When you are in the presence of something like fighter aircraft and fighter pilots, you don't, as the typical fighter pilot, doesn't want to go to war. He wants to learn how to use his airplane. He wants to learn how to excel in his airplane, and it's pretty much just a deterrent type of thing. And that's typically how the fighter pilots think. Not only did Motor think that way, but he actually has the opportunity in OIF and OEF to go out and actually employ the F-16, which is amazing as you read through all of his air medals that talk about exactly the type of person that he is when he employed that aircraft. He pretty much dropped every single munition that can be dropped or shot off of this airplane, including 20 millimeter. And if you think about that, in all of the air medals that he has received, every single person in that air medal talked about how he saved lives, how he deterred forces from being an issue with our American soldiers, our American Marines, or American airmen. I mean, that is tremendous, and what an honor, and what a humbling thing to read about when you have, you know, a young captain who did things that saved our American forces. I mean, that is absolutely unbelievable, and that's exactly what he trained for when he was in the 34th Fighter Squadron. That's everything that he read, everything that he tried to execute, everything that he tried to figure out how to use this airplane happened for him, and he did it so very well. His commanding officer at the time said he is tactically proven. He is combat experienced fighter pilot. He is professional and a capable warrior. So think about that. So you take a young kid who's at the academy, competes to go to pilot training, competes within pilot training, gets a fighter of his choice, and now he's actually executed the mission of the aircraft and of the Air Force for the Combat Air Force. So it speaks, I'd say it speaks tremendously of who you are as a person. It is outstanding. Not only did he run through the tactically proven and combat experience, but he's also ranked extremely high. Number 1 of 10, number 1 of 26, number 1 of 80, number 1 of 9, number 1 of 106. And that's other fighter pilots. So you go through exactly what we talked about, where only the top % go to get a fighter, and now the top % are within the fighter community, and now he is the top 1% of all those folks. So that is phenomenal, is what it is. He goes
My
to
number 1 of 1.
He goes to his next assignment, which I learned quickly at the last FARKLE that I was remiss in saying that his best part of the assignment was meeting his wife and getting set up for the new Thunderbird there.
Yes.
So I tell you, the opportunity to get upgraded to an instructor pilot in the Combat Air Force is a very, very, very big deal. You are looked at as an instructor pilot in a fighter squadron as the guy who knows how to employ the airplane per the book, per the standards, and can execute it perfectly. And that's exactly what the expectation is of every instructor pilot I have ever been around. Motor gets checked out as a Combat Air Force instructor pilot in the Push It Up 35th Fighter Squadron, right there. I'm learning. I'm not a Viper guy, but I'm learning. It's awesome. Fired up. Honorary now. So he upgrades as a combat instructor pilot in the F-16. The interesting part of being selected as an instructor pilot is typically every fighter squadron only has a handful, probably 4 or 5. And typically the squadrons are made up of 20 to 25 folks. And that 4 or 5 instructor pilots, there's typically a couple captains. There's the majority of them are majors and lieutenant colonels. So to be a captain instructor pilot in a fighter squadron is a very, very big deal. And you did it very, very well. after his time on his second tour to the Republic of Korea, there he shows up at Nellis to be on the Thunderbirds, where he's flying on the left wing as number 2. Everything that he has learned so far in his career, from the academy to pilot training to all of his upgrades to the instructor pilot upgrade, has taught him how to be an incredible instructor. And that is what is most important in jobs like this, where you can provide whoever is upgrading, whether it's in the combat air forces or in this airframe or this mission, exactly what that student needs to understand to execute his mission and to be able to excel. And Motor has done just that. He has been an incredible instructor for the team. He's been an incredible instructor for me, and I truly appreciate that, and I need it. But I will say that everything that I have talked to y'all about, it says so very much about Motor, who he is now, and exactly what he's become. So it is an amazing set of accomplishments, and none of it should be taken lightly, Motor. You're an outstanding fighter pilot and an outstanding officer, so I appreciate it.
Thanks everybody for making the trip so long or far to come up here and be part of this. You know, I've got a few people who go back to Fremont County, Florence, where I call home, and have been family friends for a long time. And then the awesomeness part about being a part of Lay's life is getting the whole extended network, all the family friends and the families from the Bush side. So you know, it's truly a blessing. I find myself a very lucky man to have this awesome support network. And you know, you talk about teamwork, and like the team, that's what we are here to represent. You see the men and women behind you is what makes up the Thunderbirds. Well, it's awesome to look apart as my marriage as a team effort, and it's been the best ride so far. You know, I thought Korea was my best assignment because I met Lay there, but I think obviously Nellis, it's going to be hard to top having our firstborn eating Keola, which it's been unreal. So anyways, I just wanted to say again, thanks for everyone coming out here and being a part of this. I know the last few years I've been gone a lot and haven't been able to be around as much as I'd like, especially Colorado, being an academy, come from the academy, and this is my home area. I love being back here. So anyways, with that, I've got a couple of presentations. You know, growing up, I used to bug my mom. I was like, "Ma, can I have a brother or sister?" You know, I was an only child, and you know, so you know, when all my friends were busy playing, I was stuck hanging out with my parents. I'm like, and so when Lay and I started dating, I got to meet her sister Lisa, and day one, she's just been so awesome. She's the best auntie, best sister-in-law, and my newfound sis. So come on up here. Thanks for everything.
You get it back.
So the next one, you know, coming back here. When I left to go to pilot training, my parents moved away, and so I kind of lost my family support network from Fremont County. You know, I still call it home, but it's tough when you don't have a place to call home when you come back here, where I consider this to be where I'm from. And so anyways, I met, this is kind of funny because I meet Lay, we start dating in Korea, and I never meet her parents. And so, you know, they hear about this elusive Ryan, you know, this fighter pilot guy that she's dating, and they're like, "Oh, geez, who is this guy?" And so the next thing they know, they meet me, and then the first time I meet them, I'm like, "Hey, by the way, can I marry your daughter?" They're like, "Who is this guy?" But you know, I married into an awesome family, an awesome support network, and now I got my home place to come back here, and when I come to Colorado. So they've been the best in-laws I could ever ask for, and as a grad, we have a lot in common. Larry and Arlene, you've just been awesome. So anyways, please come up here. All right. Well, we're going to have a little bit of some cake and refreshments back where we were mingling earlier. Again, thanks for coming out here, and I will see you guys.
Ground show and...
Oh yeah, so the ground show, we're going to step at what, 1:15-ish, pops? I think 115-ish for 145 takeoff. Also, if you want to go to the academy, obviously that's where we're going to be flying over the stadium today. So choose, or if you decide to take off, again, thanks a lot. So we're going to get a picture real quick.
Get a picture of great.
So
You guys want me to start filing by the
Right up under your name.
all right.
And we'll just have everyone gather around nice and tight on the side of Captain Riley.
I'm gonna take this over here.